brainstorming and sharing ideas is the funnest part of the creative process, we decided to skip the boring part of actually making stuff and just do the fun part. I'm your host, Tom Wolma.
I'm Haley Potter.
I'm Andy McFarland.
And this is Creativity Wasted.
So my idea is it's actually an app that you would download. It's for people who don't notice their white privilege. And it's like an alarm that would go off whenever your white privilege is showing, right? So like when you park your Lambo in front of a homeless shelter, and your alarm goes off, you're like, oh darn it, and then you have to, or like when you bring a Rolex as a white elephant gift, and everybody's like, what? And and you're like, oh darn, So just to cut, it was just like a premise I was playing with, and trying to get some tags for it. So
definitely need to allow microphone access, location access.
Right. Yeah.
So what sort of, would you like box off categories that you would want to be checked on, or because that's such a wide array of, there's so much privilege to be had.
I know. Yeah. It's a lot. Another thought I had was like, it would go off when you're complaining to your Mexican maid that the country club that you go to is letting in too many blacks.
Amazing.
And it was like, oh darn it, I did it again.
I shouldn't have said that. My bad.
Yeah, I'm not thinking.
Yeah.
Is this a volunteer app, or is this like if you've been caught doing shitty privileged things, and this is like an ankle bracelet almost, like you have to have this app now?
Maybe that's it, where it's like a punishment, right? You have to download it if you've if you've overextended your white privilege, then you're required to have this app.
I think maybe cops could have that app too. This is a part of cops, public servants, really. I like the idea of it being required though for like a program, like fresh out of jail program sort of thing. That's good.
I once went to I was working on site in California in, I forget the name of the city. It's wine country, so it's inland, Temecula. And I was at a Taco Bell drive-through, and the lady in front of me was arguing, like yelling to the person in the window, and I couldn't figure out why they were yelling. And so when I got to the window, I asked what the deal was, and she said that the lady in front of me was angry because everyone who worked at the Taco Bell was Mexican and that there's too many Mexicans. I couldn't believe it. Like, it's California. Wow. I mean,
it's California and a Taco.
And a Taco Bell. Yeah, I know. It's like, to
be fair though, like any self-respecting Mexican shouldn't be at a Taco Bell.
Very true. As soon as I said that, I'm like, actually, how many times have I seen a Mexican working at Taco Bell? I don't know.
They're probably like, that must bring shame on the family, I would think.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I just thought that. I don't know how the argument went, but is the lady just yelling at them like, I don't like that you're Mexican? Or was there some instigating thing, like they were speaking in Spanish to each other, or not to blame them or anything, or who knows what this crazy lady, what her beef was with Mexicans in California, but crazy. That's the only time I think I've ever seen like an incident crazy like that, of like in person, of like just blatant racism, privilege. Obviously there's probably subtle things all the time. Like, I don't know.
I've heard and seen some pretty nasty stuff, but I feel like whenever there's an altercation, I'm never there. I always miss the physical fights.
Oh,
whether it's
lucky
like
you.
I know. There was an event that happened. I'm never there. But like that, you said like she was yelling at Taco Bell, and I see all these like fights on Twitter and stuff at Waffle Houses, and how like Waffle House employees get like special like SEAL training, like you don't fuck with them. But
The lady with who like kicked the chair was coming at her and she just sort of brushed it away. That was like 3 days ago or something. That was cool.
She was a little girl too. That was really fun. That was funny.
I like the one recently with this the comic. It was a stand-up comic girl, and somebody threw a beer at her or something. I think she might have been telling a Trump joke, and somebody threw a beer at her, and it missed her, but she picked it up and chugged it. Like, and it like the crowd just went insane. Like, I was like, that is the most badass moment.
Yep. Could there be different like strength levels of this app? So if you're trying to download this app for your grandpa, it's not going to be like every little thing, every little alarm is going to go off. Take it easy on your grandpa.
Right.
But
it's just going to be, it's just going to be like the racial slurs you're going to turn on. Right.
Yes.
You're going to turn on the racial slur filter for grandpa. So he doesn't,
starters,
offend the people at the Chinese restaurant or something.
Yeah, that's good.
You mentioned before, Haley, about also like maybe an app for people who are coming out of prison, or at least that you said something similar to that. And my mind's been like firing on like, that might be a cool idea too, to have an app to like reintroduce like prisoners into society.
Yeah.
And it would be an alarm. Like if it shows the guy like washing his clothes in the toilet. And then it's like
ramen tons of ramen and stuff. Like.
Yeah. Or like they show him like carving a shank or something, and they're like, no, it's like no shanks allowed, or something like that. Like
that's good.
That's a funny idea too.
Now you said it would beep or something. Could it like be like a censoring beep so the person can't even hear the slur?
Maybe it's like it's like like when you're editing video, it's just like a boop that beeps over the slur or whatever.
Like it can predict what the sentence is, and if they start with like the N noise, it's like beep.
Or it beeps and it gives like it gives like the proper word that you should use rather than the racial slur or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like a collar, it could like make it so they couldn't talk, like shock their vocal cords or something.
A boomer collar. It
could be a boomer. Get boomed.
Yeah,
that's almost like Black Mirror shit right there. Like an app that censors your real-time speech. It's like
maybe it says the different thing too, like a nicer thing.
Or just like if you could even like walking, like kind of stepping away from the white privilege app, like PC culture. Like I see that being sort of like a Black Mirror episode where like this person is known, like we heard this person say this thing, and the typical case of this guy lost his job his whole life because of PC culture or whatever. So now this dude has to have this app or that boom collar or something, and anything he says about women shouldn't read or like get back like any sort of like
like get back in the kitchen. It actually means like that's
or like a gaslighting one where they change. If you're gaslighting somebody, it like says what you actually should say, like I'm sorry I made you feel that way, instead of that's crazy you feel that way.
That's great.
Thinking.
Would you need such device, Andy?
I mean, I'm not a boomer, but
yeah.
I'm coming up on it, so maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I'm a Gen Xer, so I'm already in it a little bit with the newer social norms. I'm struggling with a bit myself, but
probably just like the R word for you or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
I'm sure I say the wrong thing here or there, but I don't know if I would. I'll just take the L rather than have to deal with the watch. Yeah. Would you sell the app, or like, is it an app for an Apple Watch? or is it like
Yeah,
its
maybe.
own? Does it
Yeah.
shock you?
I was thinking, that maybe that could be a feature of it. Like it shocks you if you're about to say something, inappropriate, or, it translates for you, tells you what you should say, maybe something like that.
Or if you have enough self-awareness, you could type in the app what you're about to say, and it'll give you the green, or it'll turn green or turn red, whether it's like, or it'll turn yellow, say insert in company.
Right. Like when you're approached by a minority, you have like this panic moment and you have to type in like,
Yeah.
oh no, what do I do in this situation? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this? You're going to leave a bad tip, and so you've got some money in your hand, and it shocks you, so you drop the rest of the money to leave a bigger tip.
Beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, definitely.
Not that you can't just pick it up again, but silly idea. So let's wrap it up. Anybody have any shows you want to plug, or podcasts, or things you're doing that you want to promote?
I've got a Demented Peach competition this Saturday at Presidential Brewing down in Portage.
I got a mic at Biggs in Chesterfield this Thursday, and then this Sunday I'm going to be at the Night Spot in Twin Lakes, Michigan, for a 20-minute set, which I'm pretty excited for.
Nice. Cool. I run the Plymouth Roadhouse open mic. It's every other Wednesday, so this coming Wednesday we're doing it. I'll also be at the Tiki Bar at Walled Lake on the 26th. So.
Likewise, yeah, we'll all be there. So definitely
Cool.
I'm doing the new Lansing one on the 20th. I don't remember what it's called though.